Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard about someone getting scammed and thought, how did they fall for that? Be honest. Have you ever felt even slightly confident that you would never fall for something like that? Because here's the truth most people don't like to admit. People don't fall for scams because they're unintelligent. They fall for scams because they're human. Modern scammers don't hack computers. They hack psychology. Welcome to Mind Matters Expert. Whether it's a fake alert pretending to be from PayPal, a suspicious order confirmation from Amazon, or a cloned profile on Facebook, the real target isn't your device, it's your brain. And today, we're unpacking the psychological mechanics behind scams, the mental shortcuts and emotional triggers that quietly influence decision-making, and how you can defend yourself using practical, real-world tools. Your brain is designed to conserve energy. It uses mental shortcuts called cognitive biases to make fast decisions without overanalyzing everything. Most of the time, that's helpful. But when someone intentionally manipulates those shortcuts, they become vulnerabilities. Let's break them down. We are wired to respect authority, a uniform, a professional tone, an official-looking email, a confident voice claiming to be from your bank. Your brain immediately thinks, they're in charge. I should comply. And that's where manipulation begins. Questioning authority feels uncomfortable. It feels risky. So most people comply first and verify later, if at all. Let this sink in. Authority collapses the moment you independently verify it. Your three-step defense. Hang up. Find the official number yourself. Call back directly. Never trust incoming authority without verification. Only 2 spots left. Offer expires in 10 minutes. Last chance before prices double. Scarcity creates urgency. Urgency reduces critical thinking. When time pressure rises, emotional intensity rises with it. Your logical brain steps aside. Your reactive brain takes over. Here's your protective rule. If I must decide now, the answer is no. Real opportunities survive patience. Scams collapse under scrutiny. Humans are social learners. If others approve something, we assume it's safe. 5-star reviews, dozens of comments, testimonials that appear detailed. Even fake alerts mimicking your Netflix account being suspended can look convincing when they mirror common complaints. But online, social proof can be fabricated. Before trusting popularity, search the company name plus scam. Look for consistent complaints. Check independent sources. Manufactured trust is still manipulation. This bias is subtle and extremely powerful. If you want financial freedom, if you're searching for love, if you're hoping for a breakthrough, you are more likely to accept information that confirms that desire. Scammers don't sell fraud. They sell possibility. They mirror your goals back to you. Ask yourself, if this were fake, what evidence would I expect to see? Then actively look for that evidence. The willingness to challenge your own belief is protection. This is where small mistakes turn into devastating ones. First, it's $200, then $2,000, then $20,000. At this point, you're not pursuing profit. You're trying to recover pride, time, and loss. But every additional payment increases exposure. Repeat this slowly. Past money is gone. Only future risk matters. Each new transaction is a separate decision. Detach from what's already lost. Protect what remains. Cognitive biases open the door. Emotion pushes you through it. Scammers deliberately activate emotional states because emotion overrides logic faster than argument ever could. Let's break down the most common triggers. Your account has been compromised. You owe back taxes. Legal action will begin immediately. Fear activates survival mode. In survival mode, the brain, it prioritizes speed over accuracy. You react. You comply. You don't question. So, what's your defense? Slow everything down. Step away. Breathe. Create time. Fear weakens when urgency disappears. Guaranteed 30% returns. Exclusive insider access. Double your money in weeks. This isn't always about greed. Sometimes it's hope. It's ambition. It's just the desire for progress. But honestly, excitement can really narrow our focus and lower our skepticism. So, ground yourself with 3 questions. Is it realistic? Is it guaranteed? Is it independently verified? Remember, high reward plus low risk is a psychological red flag. Romance scams are powerful because, the emotions feel real. There are daily conversations, emotional vulnerability, and even shared future plans. The bond can feel so authentic. But emotional intensity, it clouds our evaluation. Here's your boundary. Never send money to someone you haven't met in person. No exceptions. And if someone asks for secrecy, That's not intimacy. That's control. Urgency multiplies everything. Fear plus urgency becomes panic. Excitement plus urgency becomes impulsivity. When someone removes your time to think, they're actually controlling your decision-making environment. No legitimate institution pressures secrecy and immediate payment. So if they rush you, just pause. Most scams, they follow this structure. Hook, authority or social proof. Isolation, escalation. And finally, urgency. Once you recognize this sequence, you start seeing it everywhere. Recognition turns manipulation into something visible. And visibility, well, it weakens it. So, daily protection rules. Small habits, strong defense. It's all about those little things we do every day that make a huge difference in keeping ourselves safe. Awareness must translate into action. Just knowing isn't enough. We really need to put what we learn into practice. It's a good idea to install a 24-hour rule for financial decisions. Taking that extra time can help us avoid mistakes and think things through. And remember, no transfers under pressure. If anyone's rushing you, it's totally okay to pause and double-check before you do anything. So just remember, there are no urgent investments. And there are no rushed commitments either. Delaying your decision, even for a bit, can really disrupt manipulation. Alright, so it's important to separate emotion from action. Let me ask myself, what am I feeling right now? Is it fear, maybe excitement, or could it be loneliness? When emotions run high, it simply means it's time to pause. So, create a verification ritual. Always double-check URLs, no matter how legit they look. Call official numbers directly, instead of relying on what's sent to you. You can even ask a trusted friend for their opinion. And whenever possible, look for independent confirmation before you act. Scams, well, they really thrive in secrecy. But the moment you bring them into the open, that exposure destroys them. Intelligence isn't enough. Emotion can totally override logic. This isn't about just being smart. When you're stressed, your reasoning capacity actually drops. Loneliness makes you more likely to trust someone you shouldn't. And excitement can lower your caution too. Under emotional load, everyone is vulnerable. Protection doesn't come from intelligence alone. It comes from awareness, plus taking a pause before you act. So here are some big red flags you should never ignore. Urgency is a red flag. Secrecy is a red flag. If someone promises guaranteed returns, that's definitely a red flag. And, emotional pressure is a red flag too. Remember, slow decisions are safe decisions. Once you really understand the psychology behind scams, you just stop being an easy target. Now, let's get a bit personal and honest here. Ask yourself, have you ever acted quickly just because something felt urgent? Or maybe you've trusted something simply because it looked official. Have you ever believed something just because you really wanted it to be true? So, which trigger affects you the most? Fear, hope, authority, or urgency? This week, before you make any high-pressure decision, just pause for 60 seconds and ask yourself, what emotion is driving me right now? Give it a try. Notice what changes. So that's it for now. Please suggest what should we explore next. Should we talk about decision fatigue? Or maybe overthinking? How about emotional manipulation in relationships? Or building unshakable confidence? Just drop your suggestion in the comments. Thanks for watching Mind Matters Expert. If this video added value to your day, give it a like, share it with someone who could benefit, and subscribe for more practical mindset and growth content. Drop a comment. I'd love to hear how you're applying these tools in your life. See you next time. Stay focused and stay empowered.